as a kid, you know, I did not have enough mentorship, which is something that's so important with what you do with Leap. You know, it's really, I think, you know, one of the building blocks of success.
You were 16 at the time.
I was 16, yeah, and I had a couple mentors here and there, but you know, who knows what I could have done, you know, if I had the right mentorship, the right guidance at that time.
Hey, Dr. Bill here with another amazing Meet the Mentor. The reason we do these Meet the Mentors is that we're doing a program called Leap, and every year for Leap Week, which is going to be July 22nd to July 28th, we have a program full of great content where we teach young people how to be successful in life. And we do that by bringing in great speakers. I personally put Elon Musk on the hot seat and said, Elon, you have to come this year. So if he can't come, he'll at least Skype in, all right? But we have Mark Wahlberg committed and a few other really, really amazing people. And the idea is that, you know, you go to college and they teach you math and they teach you science. They don't teach you success. Leap teaches you success. And at Leap Week, the week culminates in something we call a mentor workshop. And the mentor workshop is where we bring in a lot of great professionals and they sit at a table and they literally tell you kind of the road to their success and what their challenges were and, you know, how they overcame them and all that. So it's really a great opportunity. So we started doing these Meet the Mentors so that you get kind of a preview of what you're going to get at Leap. Now, last week was really funny. We had Avery here, and Avery was one of my Leap students who had come to the program for about 3 years, and he said, Doc, I want to do a summer internship, and I want to work with somebody who does something maybe in manufacturing and whatnot. Well, Shaahin has a company, which I'm going to have him tell you about in a minute, and I introduced them, and it was just such a great experience for both of these young men. And ironically, the next year, Avery called me up and said, hey, Doc, I want to do something in high technology. And that's when I introduced him to Bebop, and he's now working at Hyperloop, as you heard last week. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Shaahin Cheyene.
Good, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, an award-winning, I know who he is, I just wasn't sure on the pronunciation, an award-winning business mogul, author and filmmaker, Amazon expert based in Los Angeles. He's currently the founder of Accelerator Intelligence, which I'll have him tell you about, where he's widely regarded as one of the leading Amazon acceleration experts in the world. Thank you, brother. Oh, we should do the metal
special handshake. Okay.
All right. So tell us about your company.
So Accelerator Intelligence is my company, and basically what we are is the Amazon Accelerator. So we started 7 years ago when there were very few sellers on the Amazon platform, and we figured that, hey, once Amazon starts selling things other than books, there's going to be a huge opportunity here. So we wanted to learn about that platform and how we could use it to be successful. And, you know, of course, we launched, you know, our first product on there, and it became incredibly successful. There was almost no competition on the Amazon platform, and as Amazon grew, we grew with it. So we now have over 300 products of our own that we produce and manufacture, and we manage about 2,400 products and multiple catalogs from some of the biggest companies in the world. We have a couple Fortune 50s that are clients, and we manage all of their Amazon portfolios from beginning to end.
So, I mean, for people that aren't familiar with the term Amazon Accelerator, maybe you can explain that to them so they know exactly what you do.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, on Amazon, there's two ways where things are sold. There's hundreds of ways things are sold, but there's two main ways, right? The first way is you can just sell it to Amazon, and Amazon becomes like a retailer, like a brick and mortar.
So they basically distribute it.
Yeah, they buy it from you and they resell it. They buy it from you for a certain price and they resell it for a second price. Then there's a second way, which most people don't know that this is happening, but that there's third-party sellers that sell products on Amazon. And Amazon pick, packs, and ships them and fulfills them and does all kinds of great stuff, but it's really the third party that's selling it on the Amazon platform. It's not Amazon that's selling it. So we support both levels of that, where we help people get their product on there. So anybody can now sell a product on Amazon, and within reason. You have to have a company and the basics, but you can sell on Amazon. But you will not get to that first page, right? And we always joke and we say the best place to hide a dead body is on page 2 of Amazon, because nobody ever looks.
Right.
And one of our core expertise is, how do you get your product in front of the audience in the world's largest marketplace, which is Amazon. Right. And that's exactly what we spent 7 years perfecting and what we do.
So why don't you walk through this and pick a real product and tell us exactly how the whole process works and what you do, because there may be some young person out there who wants to invent the next big thing. It's like, okay, now that I have my big thing, what do I do with it?
Yeah. So the first thing you have to do, when you have a product idea, and this is very interesting. I mean, I'll go even a little bit more fundamental into this, is that you have to start at distribution. I think that's the key thing that most people don't think about, right? Most people think about, oh, I'm going to make a really great product, and so they make something. Maybe they raise a little bit of money, and they're like, okay, I've got it. I'm sure you get 1 million people a day coming to you with products. Right? I've got this great thing, and then you're like, okay, great. Where are you going to sell it? Right? They have no idea. So every successful product that I have ever seen in my life has started with the distribution. Right? Where are you going to sell this? Right? And so if you're in the product space, in the consumer product space, and you're not looking at Amazon, you're just being foolish. Right? At some stage, you're going to need to be involved with Amazon. Right?
Absolutely.
And it's something where, we charge a lot of money for what we do, but people starting off like Leap, would you call them students or members?
Yes.
Yeah, so Leap students is something you can do yourself, but you would need to learn everything there is to know about this platform before you even figure out what the product is that you're coming out with. Then once you have that established and you know how you're going to be selling it, you've got your distribution figured out, you've looked at the competition, which is a big thing that we do, reverse engineering the competition. How is somebody else winning in the same space, right? And you look at it. Are they using influencers? Are they? Do they have a product that's good? Then we look at their weaknesses, right? We read their reviews. We look at what people are saying in social media and on these platforms. Yeah. How is this product weak, and how can we be better, right? Then now you've got the foundation. You've got the cornerstone, the foundation for building your product. And if you start from there, you're going to be so much stronger than saying, hey, I think it'd be really great if I built this thing or that thing. Right. And sold it on Amazon. So I think that's where you really have to start. Yeah.
So can you kind of walk us through a product that you've actually worked with that has been successful, and kind of tell us the steps and what you did?
Yeah, okay, of course. So I don't know how many people heard about matcha tea before. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's it's pretty popular. People drink it at Starbucks and whatnot. Now, if you know about tea, the tea category, a box of tea goes for $3, maybe $5 if you're shopping at a Whole Foods or a higher end store. Right. So there's a tea that's made in Japan and China, originally from China, called matcha tea. Matcha tea is sold by the gram, actually, in Japan and China, and it is a very expensive product. So I drink matcha tea. Our brand is Matcha DNA, and so I drink matcha tea just because it gives me a Zen focus, right? And so getting a bag of matcha tea cost $20. So people thought, oh, you can never sell it online because that's a lot. Who's going to spend $20 on a pack of tea? So
you mean each little tea bag?
No, it's not a tea bag. It's a powder. So you add the powder. So it's usually like 4 ounces, 6 ounces, 12 ounces, whatever it is, right? But it's like it's $40 for a purchase of tea. Right. Whereas the consumer doesn't look at, I'm getting a tea bag, or they're just like, how much am I paying to buy this thing, right? So $30, $20, $40 is a lot to buy tea. So we reverse engineered and we looked at the market. Well, when we were on Amazon, there was nobody selling matcha tea. So we were like, this is an opportunity. And so we made contacts and built relationships with small-scale organic farms outside of the US and China, where we knew they could really grow this stuff, and we produced some really good product. Then what we did is we looked at other similar products. What else is selling on Amazon for that price point, right? And how are they selling it? How are they getting their traffic? How are they getting their customers? What are influencers saying? So like one of the things we discovered is that weight loss is huge in the beauty segment, and it's primarily female between the ages of 25 and 45, and they're looking for weight loss. Great. So now we have an audience that we can start with. And we built the product around that. We need a story. Well, we're growing this stuff in small-scale organic farms, right? So let's tell that story. Let's show the value. And the next thing that we know, Dr. Oz actually picked up on matcha tea, likely bought one of our brands from the Amazon platform, and it exploded. And today it's a multi-million-dollar product for us. We're one of the largest suppliers of matcha tea in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your products can be in every category. You guys, toys and gadgets and whatnot, or?
Yep. So we sell everything. So of our 300 products, we have luxury goods, we have home goods, we have pet products, we do cosmetics.
All right.
We do.
And how many employees do you have now?
So right now, our company is about 200 people all around the world.
Wow.
Most of our workforce is outsourced. And we do that because we got to work around the clock to speak to China and also to keep costs low. It's very expensive to have a workforce here. So we keep our core workforce here in the US, only the people that we need, and then we have teams embedded. And we also embed teams within Fortune 500 companies. So if you have a big Fortune 500, you need a whole team to manage your catalog at Amazon. We will hire the team, we will train them, we will manage them, and we will just embed them within your company to do your e-commerce work.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. This is so exciting and so interesting and so foreign to me. I had no idea. I knew you as the vitamin guy, the supplement guy.
Yep.
So why don't we take a second and go back to the beginning,
Cool.
how you kind of started and developed this company, because this is kind of, there was like a precursor to where you are now, right?
Sure, yeah. So I dropped out of school when I was
Don't
in my
do
teens.
that, by the way. We're not recommending that.
Yeah, well, I did that. I kind of feel like you got to follow, you got to follow your gut in life, right? And so for me, that was my path. I don't recommend that for anybody else, but for me, that was my path. And, I was kind of out there in the world, and I decided, that I was going to start a business. I was hanging around, the rave scene. I had no money, really nothing. And I decided that I was going to come up with something. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. But I started with the distribution, and that was the key. So I was in the rave scene. I was going around, and people were doing this drug called ecstasy. And at the time, it was illegal, and the supply of it had dried out. But it was huge. There was people making billions of dollars literally on the stuff, and it was gone. So I was like, well, what if we made a natural form of ecstasy that we could sell through this distribution that has now dried up, and there's people who, are missing an opportunity. So I formulated this product, figured it out, talked to people, talked to herbalists, talked to whoever I could find, and a couple months later I had prototypes. They were little balls instead of pills because we didn't have the machines or the money to put them into capsules.
But you did something that was actually healthy and legal,
Yeah.
as opposed to unhealthy and
Yeah.
illegal. And then you guys use that as a platform to then develop things like the memory drugs and
Right.
and all kinds of things to kind of help people's lives be better, right?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I like the way you put that. So fast forward 6 months later, and we are in 34 countries. I had over 200 employees in Venice Beach alone, and we were one of the largest supplement companies in the world, doing about $350 million a year in revenue. And I was a 16-year-old kid, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And what was, I think the supplement that you guys was kind of like your biggest seller was for improving memory, right?
Well, no. So back then, the product was called Herbal Ecstasy, and it was basically, at the time, it was a party pill. So it was an alternative to other harmful things that people would take. And the government didn't know what to do with it because there's strict laws against drugs, right, and things that are illegal. So great, if you're selling drugs, we know what to do with you. There's strict rules for pharmaceuticals, so if you're selling pharmaceutical drugs, they know what to do with you. The FDA will regulate you and whatever. But we were this new thing. We were supplements for recreational use, and they had no reference point for it. But people loved it and ate it up. And as a kid, you know, I did not have enough mentorship, which is something that's so important with what you do with Leap. You know, it's really, I think, you know, one of the building blocks of success.
You were 16 at the time.
I was 16, yeah. And I had a couple mentors here and there, but, you know, who knows what I could have done, you know, if I had the right mentorship, the right guidance at that time. So, which is why I really have a lot of respect for you and what you do with Leap and your organization, because I think, you know, with the right mentorship in place, a lot of people who wouldn't otherwise have that opportunity will have that opportunity now.
And maybe go in a better direction.
Go in a better direction, you know, because, you know, like for somebody who's very successful at a very young age, you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants, right? And you're going to be successful to a certain degree if you have momentum, right? But there's two parts. Somebody taught me this, a mentor of mine. There's two parts to money, right? The first part is making it. That is not as important as the second part. The second part is keeping it, right? And when you're young and you don't have the experience behind you, it's infinitely harder to keep the money. That's why you see a lot of like young stars and athletes, and I'm sure clients of yours who are famous, who have a difficult time holding on to it after they make it.
Yeah, I would say there's three parts to money, and the third part is the most important part, and that's what you do with it to help make the world a better place.
Okay, I like that.
And I mean, that's what Leap is all about, is, you know, taking young people, mentoring them, and helping them learn how to not only become successful, but to become successful for a cause. And the cause is to make this world better. You know? When we started up Discus Dental, I mean, even before our company was making tens of millions of dollars, we were always giving back. We were always helping with the Children's Dental Center and with Smiles for Life and with all these different things.
Sure.
So that's, you know, for me, that's my favorite part about making money, is, you know, going out and helping. And so you kind of transition this company now into an accelerator company, right?
Well, this is many companies.
So
many companies
do you still manufacture supplements and things like that, or is that business gone?
We do. Out of our 300 SKUs, probably about 75 of them now are supplement products. So we do some supplements, we do some foods.
What?
They run the gamut. So we have a brain supplement, which is a nootropic supplement called Accelerator, which helps promote a healthier brain, healthier thinking. A lot of students take it before they take tests. We sell a lot to military, you know, SWAT teams, you know, airline pilots, you know, anybody that needs extra focus. And we've got, you know, all kinds of supplements, everything from probiotics to, you know, tea supplements, you name it, all across the board. But it's really, you know, now the business as a whole is focused much more so around the distribution of things rather than having any singular product, which is another thing which I think is really important. You know, like, I think like back in the day, and I don't know if you'd agree with this, but like back in the day before the internet, it was much more likely that you would have like a singular hit that could be the foundation for all your success. But now with social media and, you know, all these new technologies that are coming out, it's much more likely, particularly kids that are joining Leap now, that it's not going to be one singular thing that's going to be their success, but it's going to be a collective of many things.
No, you're so right. I mean, one of the things I love to do, and in fact, the first week of April, I will be in Poland. I'm speaking to over 1,000 Polish dental students.
Wow.
And I speak at dental schools all over the country. And the first thing I do when I come in is I say to these students, I wish for you not the career I've had in dentistry, but even better. Because I use dentistry as a stepping stone to become a New York Times bestselling author. You know, we formed the leading tooth whitening company in the world. You know, I've been on 2 major primetime TV shows. I mean, it was the beginning. And just like you said, you take something and you branch it out so you're not just kind of a one-hit wonder. And on a personal note, I have to tell you, I am Mr. Fitness. Like my goal is to be on the cover of Men's Health this year.
Obviously.
But like, I just have to say, I'm not a big fan of like the herbal ecstasy thing or anything. Like I would never take anything like that. And I'm not saying that to say anything negative against you. I just want you to know that like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that stuff. I love the stuff that you guys do for memory. I love what you do, you know, as helping accelerate. And you know, you were 16, you were a kid, what did you know? And I'm glad that you said, I wish I had mentors, because if I was there, I would have said, don't do that, do this. But you know what? We all start in different ways, you know? And I'm so proud of what you've accomplished and how far you've come from back in the day, and to have gone through this kind of and navigate this path on your own without mentors. Imagine if you had a great mentor along the way. You know?
Yeah.
It was crazy. Who was it that was Chris Paul? When he was at Leap, he said, Apollo Ono. I mean, 2 of the greatest athletes alive both came up to me and said, Dr. Bill, I can't even imagine how much better I would have been if I had a program like this to influence me in my life. It's crazy. I'm so glad that you came here today. So in wrapping up, tell me what the future brings.
The future brings for whom? For us? For
you. What do you guys, what do you have on the horizon?
You know, we're growing the company and continuing to do what we do. So more clients are coming on, and we are helping people be the best that they can be on the Amazon platform. And we're you know, gearing up now. This year we're going to be adding another 300 products, so we're upping our catalog to about 600 awesome products. So if anyone's got product ideas.
I just got the greatest product idea right now, and it's never been done on Amazon. Leap. We're going to talk about this when it's done.
Cool.
All right, hey, so thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Next week we will have another great Meet the Mentor, and until then, Dr. Bill, over and out.